my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. And what is today? Today is a free day. February 29th, it is leap year day. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I just get very excited about leap year. It's a free day, and I am not going to do any work on my free day. And if you have the ability to do that as well, I hope you enjoy your free day doing something fun, something that is not work. I know. Some of you have to work, and I'm sorry you had to work or are going to work today on your free day of leap year. So what do we have? This is a jam-packed day, jam-packed. Also, pressed flowers is going on a different day. It's got to fit in here. It's probably going to be a few more days, maybe next week. I'm sorry about that, but just too many other stuff. If you're making pressed flowers, you have the block. So you don't have to wait on me. You're just going to be seeing mine. Okay, so what do we have? We are finishing up Stronger Together, and there it is. There it is behind me. Look at that. It is a fabulous size, so I'll stand next to it. So see, it is like it's like a child's quilt, I think, a good sized child's quilt where they could sort of drag it around and play. It's also a fantastic wall hanging size because it's not too big and it can fit in a lot of spaces. Okay, the other thing that we have today is the quilted witch. We're going to sew another section of that together so we can move that forward. And for leap year day, leap day, we're going to make an Oh My Stars table runner. I put the tape free. It's a free pattern version. It's a free version of my Oh My Stars. There is a free version of Oh My Stars as well. The table runner is a free version, and I've only made this Christmas one. And so what I'll do at the end is I'll show you two different fabric lines I pulled that I might pick for doing one. So I'll start it today on my day off. I'll sew on my day off for video, but it's all good. It's all good. So what we're going to do first is I have a bunch of tips for this because I am going to show you how to match that sashing in the middle that does not have a cornerstone. So this is your second foolproof sashing lesson, and then just talk about this border and other things. So we're gonna sort of deep dive through that. Then this will move over, and on the wall will be the quilted witch, and then after that we'll look at the fabric for an Oh My Stars table runner that I'll do, and so hopefully you can go and find some fabric too. It doesn't take a lot of fabric to do one of these, so that is the fun part. You can just shop your stash and make a cute table runner for spring. Okay, let's get into this. It's got a lot of detail. In order to do these, I'm finding I need to have some pins, but I also need to be really lining up these 2 points under here. I need to be sure that they are in line, and then really check it that they are together, that they haven't shifted or anything else. And I will check it again as I get closer when I'm sewing. I also find that if I sew just above that intersection, just above the X, not on it, just a fraction above, and I'll use the guide beam on my Solaris, that I'm more successful. So here's one where, see, that is meeting, that's perfect to me. Now, they're not all perfect. Here's one where the green floats a little bit. See, it's not like quite there. The yellow is, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather have it float a little bit. Some of them I chopped them off a little bit. Hey, I'm okay with that. These I find are not the easiest to line up. They are a bit bulky. So here's another one. That's pretty good. This one's, the yellow is maybe shifted down a little bit, like if you were trying to win an award, you would want to fix that. But hey, I'm not trying to win an award. This is going to be a charity quilt after all. It's like I do want it nice, but I don't need ultimate perfection. So here's the built-in guide beam for the Solaris, which a lot of the Baby Lock machines have this. And you see the guide beam is coming just above that intersection. See, I'm angling it so it is, there we go, just above the intersection. Not on it, but just above. And okay, I gotta take my hands off to zoom again. But that is what I'm looking for as I get up there, and I will stop and peek underneath. I will do this. I can't do this all one-handed, but you know, you get the idea. So I will peek underneath. See there, it shifted. Do you see how it shifted? It's on. My fabric shifted. I want to be sure I'm out here. That way when I fold this up again, if I've checked the positioning, then they will be good. I have to do that all with 2 hands, but you want to be sure that when you peek that the bottom, come on, fold it back, the bottom there is still, come on, here we go, that the bottom there is still above, and I'm not floated down onto catching the point above. So you gotta go slower when I get to there. So here you can see. Now I will need to press this really good. You know, I could maybe press the seam open afterwards, so that might help a little bit to get a little bit of bulk, because there's quite a bit of bulk there, to sort of spread it on both sides of the block. What I did first is sew units of the green, yellow, blue, because eventually then these 2 blues go together and this makes 1 row like that. But then I also have the other 2 sides which need the corners. These are the corners of the quilt, so I need the blue, yellow, green, blue. So you just put a blue on the other end. You're making the same units. So I made all those units first. Then I came back for 4 of them and put the blue on the other end. Okay, so let's see. So what I've got is pressing. You can press either from the back side or the front side, however works for you. I'm using, these are all the clappers I own. I'm going to link you to this one. They are fantastic. This one is from American Vintage. They're very beautiful. They're very heavy, which is awesome. This is a gift. Okay, so I did some of them with the seam open, and some of them I did to the seam to the side, so I could just see what was going on. And they look really good. That's the open seam. See, open. And then here is to the side. So the side is probably a wee bit bulkier. I could get it pressed over just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Come on. Here is to the side, which looks really good. These are all to the side. I've got a wool mat, and what happens is when I'm pressing on the wool mat, I am heating the mat, which brings heat to the back side of the patchwork, and the iron is bringing heat to the front side. So let me just not burn myself and come over here. Okay, so, oh, these are already pressed. Okay, so we'll just press again from the front, just to show you the idea. So I will be putting some heat on it, and then what I do, well, I don't want to leave that on there, but I just want to show you it lifts up. So I'm putting some heat on it. Now the wool is warm, the fibers are warm, and after that I will put the clapper on top, and then let all of that, this is the weight of the clapper, which is wood. The wood is just pressing down on this, and then I will just leave these units to cool. It kind of works best if you can leave them cool all the way, because then the fibers are sort of set. Do you know, if you pick up a warm, you warm up a piece of fabric, or warm up a piece of fabric, do it with cold fabric and then warm fabric, you can actually feel it is a bit more pliable. It sort of is a bit more drapey when it's warm. So that is the principle of using the clappers. You want to have some good weight to your wood, heavy wood, and you want to have something underneath that is going to be heat from the bottom of it, heat to the top, and it makes super nice flat seams. All right, so I am going to press the rest of those. Here it is with all the borders laid out, those units laid out. So there's 2 units here and 2 here that have, well, you can see green to blue, green to blue. Let me just show you that. So here's the sections I was showing you, and then on the sides it's blue to blue is a unit. So what I have to do now, what I'll do now is sew those 2 units, each of the, the sides has 2 units to sew. I'll get those sewn, and then we'll talk about sashing, because this is a sashing that does not have a cornerstone, and it's 4 blocks, so of course it's a little easier to handle than if you were doing like a 4 blocks across and no cornerstones. But you can always add a cornerstone. If you wanted a cornerstone here, I believe these are 2.5 inches wide. What you would do is just make 2 more. They're square blocks, so you just make 2 more of these, which is the same size across. Hold on. There, I just took that from up here. I would just need 2 more of those, and then you would just put a 2.5 inch square in the center, and you have a cornerstone. And so you can always add cornerstones to any quilt that has long sashing if you don't prefer to do long sashing. But I would do long sashing on this one, and I'll show you how I line it up. People probably have other ways to line it up. You can search on YouTube for that, but I will show you. So let me get everything here sewn and ready to go. Just good quilt practice is going to take you very far with this. These 2 blocks must be the right size before you go any further. If they are 1/4 inch off, you are going to have trouble. If they're 1/2 inch off for some reason, you're going to have even more trouble. They will not get any better as you sew them in the quilt. So you've got to go back to accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. They have to be accurate. So accurate block sizes, accurate sashing sizes. Then you look at the pattern. It tells you how long this is. This piece needs to be that long. If it's not, you can fudge about 1/8 inch. You can pull this because the seams might not be totally, open. So you can just tug it just a kind of little bit and you can make it reach. But if you're having problems, it's not reaching, then this unit is wrong if it doesn't have this be the same size as this. That's your first step that you need to absolutely have to, because then you're going to have borders on the outside, and then you're going to have a piece border past that. And so you have to be 100% accurate to make all of this as a puzzle piece. It's like a physical puzzle. If you had sizes wrong, you would have gaps or they wouldn't fit. That's the same with fabric, except the fabric is a little bit pliable. We can stretch it just a little bit to help us out, but not much, not much. Okay, so I'm going to pin this on here, and then we'll talk about getting the second one to match it. Be sure that your bottom section here is facing the correct way, because you just don't want to do all this effort. You put it on upside down. So that's a good thing to check. So what I'm dealing with is matching this sashing to this sashing. That's the problem, because you don't have a cornerstone here where you would match the cornerstone seam, and this one would have been matched to the cornerstone seam. There would have been seams here, but there's no seam. So what I do is you're going to just have to do a bunch of checking. And of course this is 4 blocks, so it makes it so much faster because you only have these blocks. But if you had a whole row of blocks, I would handle it the same way. It's just a little bit more tedious because it's so long. So these are the intersections you want to worry about, not the ends at this moment. For me, I always start right here. You can see what I'm doing, and let me just scroll in. I have matched these. I'm laying these right on top of each other. The seams are like going right from this top piece, and they're laying on top of the bottom piece. And then what I'm doing is I tried to, before I laid it down, I tried to be right at the edge so I didn't have to maneuver too much. And so I just had like maybe 1/8 inch there. So now I'm going to check again. Did I shift it any? No. So this is the accuracy again. If for some reason this sashing that you have here is not the same size as that sashing, your seam allowances were wider or more narrow, they're not going to be even, are they? And that's going to mess it all up. So that's why you have to be super, super accurate all the time with this kind of a thing. There's no guidepost for you. Okay, so you just pin it and you sew. And that's really the whole deal, is that you are working on those, you're working on these intersections to get them right. And then after that, I will just pin between the, between the blocks. So if this were actually another intersection over here, I would be matching those the same way. But in this case, I just have the 2 blocks to go across. So let me sew it up. So we'll start in close. Here we are. I don't think I could get any better than that. But remember that you have control over your quilt. And if you decide that you would prefer to have cornerstones because it's easier for you, it's more relaxing for you, it makes it more fun for you to sew, then add cornerstones. There's no law that says that you have to do it this way. You can add the cornerstones. All right, so I'm going to put this up on the wall, and actually I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the borders on. So then we'll just wrap this guy up. Here we go. Here we go. This is the center. So I have everything ready. Ta-da! And I will just put the other borders on for a finish. Look at it. Looks so good, right? What a great fundraiser for education. So I hope that you participated. I hope you had fun if you were sewing along with me. I really enjoy doing these fundraisers, and they just are so inspiring to work with other people to just raise awareness for different organizations. So this is the National Negro College Fund, and it will be doing educational things. So yeah, it's done. It's done. So I'm going to take this down, and behind it on the wall is the Quilted Witch. Oh, I forgot to say that I'm going to use my Harmony wide back in this shade of blue. I think that'll go really well. Look at that. Okay, so that is going, I gotta cut that wide back, be sure I have it proper size. Okay, the Quilted Witch, and we are doing my witchless version, which is the Quilted Witch's Garden. And we have got the whole left side done, the top section, and then on this middle section we have the left finished, and now we're doing the right. So let me get the other camera. At this point, what we're doing is building a little sashing around the blocks. All your blocks should be made. And so I have got churn dash and a leaf up here, a leaf dash and a churn dash down there, and the cute couple twinkle stars and the last pumpkin. And then there's sashing, you know, that goes around all of this. So this will be built, sewn to that. That'll then go to the top part, and then we'll have all of this done and just have this small section next week to do underneath. So let me show you in the pattern where we're at. Your book has all of the stars and the blocks. I just added in the leaves. The leaves are it. Everything else is just sashing. The leaves are the only new pattern, which was a free download at my project page for the Quilted Witch. So here's my layout. So you have to have this. And then we are on pages 7, 8, and 9. So 7 is that pumpkin, churn dash leaf pumpkin. And then on page 8 is the section under it. Churn dash leaf, 2 little twinkle stars. And then there's sizes, but if there's a letter, then that's the size from in the book. You get the layout cutting from the book. And then you sew the pumpkin unit to the other unit below. And so that's it. This is all really easy construction at this point. Very nice, just a bunch of rectangles, few squares, and you're done. Everything's up here ready to sew. I always like showing you just before I sew it because you can now see all of the background color. Oh, it's looking so good. Okay, just have to zip all this together. Zoom, zoom, sew it all up. The section for today, here it is. This is a pretty big section. You could even make like a wall hanging just out of this piece with the pumpkins. Wouldn't that be cute? This would be darling. This is a wall hanging by itself instead of a full quilt. All right, now this is going, I already took it down. This is going to be sewn to the top half, and then I'll have everything done for this week. And there it is. 2 sections. All we have is that lower section to do next week, and we are finished. So exciting, so exciting. Okay, so on our leap day here, our bonus day for the year, for the next couple of years, we only get one every couple of years, we're gonna make a Oh My Stars table runner. Of course, I'm not making it right now in this video, but I'm gonna show you the fabrics I'm gonna use. And this is the table runner, and it's free. It's a layout version of my Oh My Stars free pattern. There's also a paid version, for a small fee if you wanna get multiple sizes, bigger sizes of the lap quilt. It's kind of a small lap quilt, so the bigger sizes are for beds, but this free one is for the table runner. So we're going to do a table runner. Okay, I had 2 fabric collections that I was thinking about. The first was this willow. Well, you could probably see it. So this was, but you know, I have a layer cake. I don't have a charm pack of either of these, but you know, that's the way life is. I have layer cakes, and I was thinking of this because it's got this teal and the peaches, and oh, look, rainbows. But I think I'm going to save this, and I got some extra stripes. I'm going to save this for a layer cake quilt. So instead, I want to do something Eastery. Look at this, very spring. It's called Bunny Trails. Let's just cut this open because that will be easier. Okay, so Bunny Trails. I have got light blues and there's some pink polka dots. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. And because I have a layer cake, I can sort of think a little bit about where I want things to go, what colors, because I have extras, and there's some of these are in multiples, like the bunnies. Look how cute the bunnies are. Oh my goodness. Yellows and greens. There's a plaid. So because I have the layer cake, like I said, I'm going to lay it out. See, I'll be doing that over the next few videos. Look at the floral. So I didn't buy any yardage of this, but my purple here works super well, so that'll be the border of mine. And then I don't know if I'll do green stars from my fabric or if I will just then maybe the binding, but this will definitely be the border. That way I have enough of it. But because they look at the Easter eggs, oh my gosh, this is called, I'll link you in the description box below, this is called Bunny Trails. And they do have charm packs of it, layer cakes, yardage, the aqua. So I'm probably not going to put all the colors in. I'll go through here and figure out which fabrics I want and show you that on up. I'll be doing it over the next few days of videos. So into next week. Tomorrow's video I think is also kind of full, but I might have by that time gotten some of this figured out. Because there's not that many squares. We don't have that many squares on here. So you don't need to have all the colors in the rainbow. You could do just a couple colors, like 3. You could even do it just alternating 2 with the star being a different color. But always remember to make the star something that stands out against the border and the blocks. So it needs to have some high contrast or you lose those 3 stars. Okay, my friend. Happy Leap Year Day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your free day. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.